Hey there, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches, and welcome to a series that I call Your Topics, My Take. Now, I've been inspired by my friend Pete McConville lately. He's been doing a Q&A series of videos, and he's done a great job. Now, he's not the first person to do it, but he's done such a good job with it. I feel inspired, so I'm gonna take a crack at it, right? So let's kick this off. The first topic or question is coming from Rick over at the Bobby Legs Discord server. And he says, the ones that got away, watches you sold or traded that you wish you still had, why you sold or traded, and why you miss that watch. Well, that's a great question, Rick. That's just something that's always on my mind. I have definitely gotten rid of some watches or sold or traded some watches that I regret doing. However, most of them have been for a greater cause, like getting another watch that I desire. A couple of the watches that come to mind that I've sold have been the Black Bay 58, the original Black Bay 58, Seikos, some Zins, But the thing with these watches, they've been sacrificed to get something else. But these watches, I think, I can get these watches back, right? So, like whether it's new or in a secondary market, I can get every single one of those back relatively quickly. Now, there is one watch, or there was one watch that I don't think I'm ever going to get back, and that is the Kadoki 2, the Salmon Dial watch. I had been watching Kadoki. He had been on my radar for about 3 or 4 years, as some of you guys may recall. Big fan of German watches here, and I noticed the pricing going up and up, and then he won a GPHG award, and the price is starting to skyrocket. And I thought I lost my window, but a friend of mine was looking to sell his because he was secretly uh, designing a bespoke model with Stefan Kadoki. So I had the opportunity to pick that watch up, and I had it for 6 months, and I enjoyed it. It was such a great piece, such a lovely dress piece. Loved the dial, loved the case back. Um, but an opportunity came up for me, my wife, and my family at the end of that year, and I think that was 2021. And I needed to sell the watch in order to close the financing of what we were doing. So it went to for a good cause, but I don't think I'm going to get that watch back, and it'll be one that got away, and probably my biggest regret when it comes to watch collecting. Okay, moving on. Now I put the same question out there for a topic on the community post on YouTube, and I got some responses. Uh, Here is one from Young Excellency. How do you navigate, prioritize your future purchases? Long term, expensive grail watches versus instant gratification, lower price point, fun watches. Might be interesting to hear what your thought process was, especially since you've gone down to three watches from a larger collection. Cheers. Yeah, so Young Excellency has been following me for a little while now and knows that I've really reduced the collection. Man, I'm all over the place now. Um, so we have a couple things that have come up in the personal life, and good stuff, stuff with the house and the kids and whatnot, and that requires money. And so my budget for watch collecting and watch purchases is almost nil for the rest of the year. Now it is end of May, beginning of the June. There's a lot of months to go before the end of the year. But I think I won't be adding anything to the collection, Young Excellency, for the rest of this year. Now, in regards to long term, like I really want to get methodical with the thought process and the decision making for the next piece. I don't want to just, you know, w- with on a whim buy something just because it's a shiny new object and I just want to satisfy a fix, right? I want to purchase with purpose. I don't want to sell watches anymore. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's stressful. Buyers are liars sometimes, or buyers disappear, or maybe you get a good buyer, but sometimes some certain watches are harder to sell than others. And overall, I think it's generally harder to sell watches now than it was like a year or two ago. So there's so much stress involved with that, and I kind of want to avoid that. I really want to have a meaningful collection, something that I could be proud of. And I've said that many times before. If you've seen my streams, that I want to have a collection I can be proud of, you know? And so I'm going to try to get back to that. And hopefully next year I'll start. I'm thinking speedy. That's really what I want. Of course, I'm on the list for a couple of Rolex GMTs, a Batman and a Pepsi, and then an Explorer 2 Polar Dial. If those calls come up in the near future, I have to jump on that too. So we'll see. Hopefully, I could hold steadfast for the rest of the year and really start collecting long term with a purpose in mind. Next and last topic this week is from Symphony from for the bezel. He says, when YouTubers become bigger than the content they put out, they forget why people watch their videos in the first place, almost like they become beholden to something in order to generate revenue or make this their full-time gig. Now, this is a very slippery subject for me because I am a YouTube content creator and I have friends who are YouTube content creators. And so, like, I'm trying not to pass judgment on any of them, right? I mean, I don't want people to pass judgment on me either. I don't intend to make this a full-time gig ever. I mean, this is just a hobby for me, making this content for all of you. It's fun for me. I have a full-time job. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old that take up a lot of my time. So this is like kind of down the list, a few pegs. And so, you know, I think, having said that, I'm not necessarily beholden to anything because I'm not chasing a dollar. Now, look, there is costs, even for me to put out content. I mean, there is postage, and that's expensive, right? Sending out watches, getting watches in, that can add up. And right now, I'm at a point where I'm pretty much breaking even with that. So I'm pretty happy, but this does take a lot of time, right? To do. And so, like, anything a little extra is nice. I got to be honest with you. Now, there was one time when I met with a brand, very small micro brand, if you will, to promote one of their watches or do a review. And to their credit, they allowed me to do or say whatever I had to say about the watch. Now, I did take a watch in as an agreement, but I gave it away to a subscriber. That's what I had in mind. And even though I could say anything I want, I still felt like I was pulling the punches. So I didn't really feel good about that. So when other YouTube content creators, they work with other brands, I get where they're coming from. I just wish they were more transparent. I think that's what we need. We need more transparency with that. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you all for watching and those who made their suggested topics. And put a comment below. Let me know what you think of these topics and what you think my response were. I'd love to hear some input. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.